Hmm.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, Pauline. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice to be
What
here.
What have you been up to since we last had a chat?
Mm, well, now I'd been I was away on tour, but I think that might have been before I last spoke to you. So I had 2 weeks touring. Anyway, well, so I'll not talk about that. I might have talked about that already. Um, Last weekend I had a really exciting time because there was a group of musicians that I'd met through an online Zoom group during lockdown. So I'd maybe met two of them before in real life, but the rest I didn't know at all. So finally, last weekend we had a get together. We had a kind of mini music festival, and we all got together down in Cambridge, and I got to meet all these people that I've been talking to and playing music with. Well, playing music to online for the last year and a half. So we all got together last not the weekend there, but the weekend before. So that was really exciting. That was lovely. So that was that was a big part of what I've been doing the last few while. It's good.
Good. And what what's been happening at the moment then with like concerts or anything? Uh, is anything coming up?
Yeah, there's a few things. I'm actually on tour again this coming weekend with the group that I'm in called Came. We're going to be doing some concerts round about well, one in Sheffield, one in Bamforth, which is just near Sheffield, and one in Hebden Bridge in West Yorkshire, I think. So I've got a few live gigs coming up then. Yeah, I've had a few things. I've been playing at a few weddings. I've had a few gigs. So that yeah, things are kind of back. People are still being quite careful up here though. So quite a lot of the time, where you're certainly wearing masks, moving around a venue, and yeah. So there's just, but yes, but things are kind of happening. So yes, it's good.
Good, good.
But it's
And
still nice to keep the online things going as well.
oh yeah, of course, yeah, because you're still doing that. You're still doing your Facebook Live, aren't you?
Yes, not as much as I was because I say I have been quite busy, but yeah, still trying to keep it going because it's nice to keep the connections that you can only make online because people are living some distances apart. So yeah, so that's good fun as well.
How's your new album getting on? Blue Leaves.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I haven't been promoting it much recently, but yeah, I mean it gets yes, I mean you do have a flurry of promotion when it first comes out. So yeah, it's been doing okay. I've been thinking I have another album though that I'm working on, which is it's taken a while because there's other musicians involved in it, and it's just taking a while. So that I'll have another album coming out. It might end up being the beginning of next year. I was hoping it would be towards the end of this year, but I think it's more likely to be the beginning of next year. So I'm kind of probably thinking more about that because once you've worked on an album and brought it out, you're like, well, okay, that's that. I know you're meant to keep promoting things, but there's always something else you want to promote. So yeah, got another album coming out.
Okay. And didn't you say that you got a new CD out too?
Well, I'm working on it at the moment. It's not out yet. As I'm hoping it will be out. I was hoping it might be out by the end of this year, but I think it's more likely to be the beginning of next year by the time it's out because it's just taking a while,
Right.
which
Okay.
is fine. It's fine because everybody working on it suddenly got a bit busier. Um, but that's fine. But I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be quite different to the last one. There's other musicians working on it, and I have a producer, so it's going to be just a bit more produced than the Blue Leaves album. So they've both got their own their own way of being. Blue Leaves was very stripped back, and the next one will have a few more things on it. But yeah, it would just be different, but nice. I enjoyed working on both of them.
Great. Great. Brilliant. Um. Also, what I see is that when you kind of like do this, some people contacted me the last time I was on, and they said to me, "We just should get all our ideas of our different songs too, and we cover this all the time when we have a chat." Um, can you tell me because can you tell everyone because I tried telling them and they keep asking me all the time.
Hmm, that's a really good question, but there's no easy answer to that one. Different song ideas come from different places, so it's a really tricky one. I'll tell you some of the different ways that song ideas come because they do come in different ways. When I first started songwriting, and sometimes this still works, sometimes I just sit down at the harp and I mess around, and a nice kind of progression comes, and then I base a song around that. But then you've also got to get the subject matter for it. Subject matter can come from anything. Sometimes it's things people say. Now I wrote a song just recently. I'm not going to do it tonight because it's not quite ready. But I messed around on the harp, so I had a nice wee harp shape for it. And then I heard somebody say that they kept moving house, and every time they moved further away from their homeland. So that was just a phrase that I thought was a really good phrase, and I've ended up using that and basing a song around that. So that's one thing. Sometimes it's kind of life experiences, and you think, gosh, that's something. With songs, you try and think if it's your own life experience, you try and think of things that other people can relate to, because I think there's no point in making everything all about you. That it's people have got to be able to relate to it. So that's another thing, just life experiences. I get some inspiration from books because there's lots of good stories in books. So I have two or three songs that are based on actual favourite books of mine. Um, let's have a wee think. What else? Sometimes newspaper headings or phrases that people say, or somebody that you talk to and you think that's an interesting story, so you get ideas from all of that. Um one one of the songs, which is probably the first song I might do for you a wee bit later on, is I heard a really good tune and I thought it was a song because it seemed to be very story like. It seemed to be very much like a film, but it wasn't a song. It was just an instrumental tune. So I ended up writing words to that and turning it into a song. So that's quite different from what I usually do. Usually I find the tune easier than the words, but this time the tune was already there and I just wrote the words to it. So there's so many different ways.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it's people that are wanting to write songs, then you just need to give yourself a wee bit of time. And I say just look at lists of titles, or I say newspaper headlines or books or films, or just walk about and note down how you feel. I mean, you can make a song out of most things, to be quite honest. Just leave yourself open to ideas. So ideas can come from lots of different places.
Good, good. Let's watch this video for a second.
Say that again.
I just want to get everybody to watch this video.
Oh, okay. Oh,
the vibrant colours dazzle me. It's green the way a green should be in Orkney, in Orkney. The wind is ever present and it's howling over sea and land in Orkney, in Orkney. Some days you can't go out, you can't hear words you shout. Our kite broke with a cloud in Orkney, in Orkney. The ferry dips and rises, there'll always be surprises in Orkney. The stone stack stays so still, the churning waters chill in Orkney. The ancient world is very near, their way of life seems crystal clear in Orkney, in Orkney. Their jewellery and the games they play, the inside toilets neatly laid in Orkney, in Orkney. But mystery still remains. How did they move those stains? Was it to cover veins in Orkney? In Orkney. The ferry dips and rises. There'll always be surprises in Orkney. The stone stack stays so still, the churning waters chill in Orkney. undimmed by years between. It must be felt unseen. Orkney, Orkney. The ferry dips and rises, there'll always be surprises in Orkney. The stone stag stays so still, the churning waters chill in Orkney. The ferry dips and rises, there'll always be surprises in Orkney. The stone stag stays so still, the churning waters chill in Orkney.
Well done. That was very good.
Oh, thank you.
I love that song. That's the first time I heard that,
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I wrote that based on, well, that was a family holiday we had in Orkney years ago, and it just kind of stuck in my memory, just about all about the sense of history that you get when you're there, because there's all these ancient, stone circles and burial mounds, etc. So that's what came to mind there. That was my first ever Edinburgh Fringe show. That was where that was recorded.
Ah,
Way back
right, okay. What are you going
2012, I
to
think it was.
What are you going to sing live for us, please?
Okay, well, I'm going to do the song that I talked about that I'd heard as a tune. I'd heard it as a tune on the accordion, and I thought it was a song, but it turned out it wasn't a song. So I wrote words to it. So that's how I came about with this song. It just a story just came to mind really, really quickly. And so it's the song and the tune are called Millie's Waltz. So I'll do that for you now. Here we go, Millie's Waltz. She entered the door of the old village hall. The chairs, they were shrouded, no lights on the wall. The chandeliers dusty, the cobwebs like lace. No one is there to dance. Her footsteps they falter, her sight it is dim. Her legs feel so stiff when they once were so trim. She remembers the dance steps, how could she forget? But nobody asked her to dance. How different it was back in old 39. The chandeliers shimmered, the floor it was fine. The music was lively, you couldn't sit still. Everyone loved to dance. She saw him across the room, shocked with the spark. His uniform gleaming, his hair it was dark. He stood right in front of her, bowed from the waist. Mademoiselle, would you like to dance? Round again, gracefully spun. Footsteps in time, they were breathing as one. No one else mattered, only one face was clear, dancing to Millie's waltz. He left the next day off to duty and war. The address that she'd given slipped through to the floor. She wondered what happened, had it been a dream? The night they had their dance. The war passed and life had to pick up its thread. She wondered what happened and if he was dead. Other men came, but they mistimed their steps when they tried to dance. Round again, la 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 la. La 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 la. When they try to dance. The evening was balmy, the air it was still. She sat outside dreaming, legs crossed on her stool, an accordion playing, dance tunes from the past. How she would love to dance. A stranger approached from the side of the square. She felt him before she could see he was there. He stood right in front of her, bowed from the waist. Madame, would you like to dance? Round again, gracefully spun. Footsteps in time, they were breathing as one. No one else mattered, only one face was clear, dancing to Millie's waltz. Round again, gracefully spun. Footsteps in time, they were breathing as one. No one else mattered, only one face was clear, dancing to Millie's waltz. When they danced to Millie's waltz.
Well done.
Thank you.
Brilliant. It was that reminds me of when they were dancing around a maypole or something. Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, could be. But yeah, it just the story just played out. I started writing it, and it just came really easily. The whole idea of the story. So, yeah. So
Really
that's
good.
where it
Really
got
good.
from.
And when you go to Edinburgh Fringe, Pauline, what's it like? What's it like to be with other people? Other people who's in the same kind of like, in the same, in the same place as you are, getting their music out there. What's it like?
Well, the Edinburgh Fringe is quite. I mean, it's. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's quite something else. It's huge. There's so many different acts and performances. It's not so much a music festival, so there's actually not that many folk doing just music shows. And I've changed over the years. I started off just presenting my songs and presenting a wee bit of chat. But as time's gone on, 2 years ago I wrote a show, a scripted show. So it's a kind of one woman show about the Brontes. So with original songs in it. So I feel that's the way to go with the Fringe. It's not so there's not so many just music acts. There are some, but there's usually a bit of a story or a bit of something or a bit of cabaret rather than straight music shows. So it's just quite different. It's a crazy festival. There's so many people and so many things happening. It's quite a buzz, and you get lots of ideas. But yes, but I say it's not a straight music festival. In the Fringe, there's not so many just straight music acts. So you tend to have to think about something a wee bit different to do with your show. You have to give it a funny title to make it stand out, or because people are going to be looking through this program. It's a huge, hundreds of acts, thousands of acts, and you've got to do something to make it stand out, so people are going to want to come to your show. So it's all a wee bit crazy. So that's what Edinburgh's about. But I do like it. It's all very mad.
Yeah. What do you like? What do you like most? What you do about what you do?
So what do I like most about what? Sorry, I missed that.
What you do?
About what I do.
Yeah. What do you like most?
That's a really tricky question. Well, I like performing. I really do like performing. So I like being in front of a live audience, but I also like live streams and chatting as well. So I like that aspect of it. I like communicating with people either through songs or through chat or through explaining the background behind the songs. I do like that. I enjoy writing songs and I enjoy arranging songs. Um, the bits I'm not so keen on, I'm not very keen on setting up gigs because that's a whole other ballgame. That's like marketing skills, and it's not that easy to have those skills as well as everything else. So I'm not very keen in the marketing side of things. I don't even mind. I mean, traveling to gigs, I don't mind. I mean, my idea is, or what I like doing is traveling around, going to different parts of the country or other countries, and doing shows. So that side of it I do like. But yeah, just the communication side, just just having an audience that are interested in your songs and respond to your songs. So those are the bits that I like the best, I think.
Brilliant. What song are you going to sing first next?
Okay, well, I'm going to do something that came about. This how this song came about is a wee bit interesting, I think. So I was playing at a festival. I think it was just after I'd been chatting to you the last time. There was a festival up here called One Weekend in Stirling, and the guys that arrange it did quite a few online festivals this past year and a half, but this was the first actual one. So we swithered about what to do, and I said I would do a songwriting workshop. But what we thought we'd try and do was actually create a song all together, like get ideas and actually create a song at the workshop. So that's what we did. I asked people to just tell us, things that they'd passed on their journey to the songwriting workshop, and out of that we would try and build a song all together. So that's what we did. So somebody passed an abandoned pub on their way to the songwriting workshop. So I thought, an abandoned pub, that sounds like a good, it'd be a good subject for a song. So we based it on that. So there wasn't that many people at the workshop. It was just, it was live events were just coming back. So we kind of wrote a verse each, and one of the guys there wrote the chorus, and then I just built the song from there. So I sort of worked out the tune and put it together. So it's about an abandoned pub, and it's called Last Orders. So this was a joint effort, which is another way of writing songs. It's quite good to get together with other people and write. So here we go, Last Orders. Drawn to the ramshackle building, down the dark country lane, paint peeling of pillars and broken stained glass panes, feeling the spirits of times gone by, see shadows of the past from the corner of my eye. When was the last orders called? Whose pint was the last one poured? Where did the regulars shuffle on to? The day this pub closed its doors. Once it used to be the busiest pub in town. Everyone was drawn to it. At night they'd gather round. But now the creaky old door is flapping in the breeze on the edge of the forest, surrounded by trees. When was the last orders called? Whose pint was the last one poured? Where did the regulars shuffle on to? The day this pub closed its doors. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Came down one morning to find him flat out on the floor. His body cold, his lips would look on hers no more. From that day on, she vowed to lock the door. She switched off the pumps, there were no last orders called. When was the last orders called? Whose pint was the last one poured? Where did the regulars shuffle on to? The day this pub closed its doors, closed its doors.
Well done.
Thank you.
Beautiful song. Beautiful.
Thanks. That was a collaborative effort at a songwriting workshop. So that's another way that songs can come into being.
So, do you, when you go to these workshops, then, how many other people are there? And
Sorry, were you asking something else?
yeah, sorry, I was just saying, when you go to these workshops, how many people are there? Is it just you, or?
Well, it varies. I mean, I did a few songwriting workshops online, and there was quite a few. I think there was about 8 to 10, roughly. At this particular one, there was just 3 of us. It was just one of those things were just opening up, so it was just 3 of us at that one. So we wrote the song between the 3 of us, so that was fine. That that was good. It was quite nice having a small number as well. So it really varies. You know, it depends on a lot of things. So yeah, small numbers work as well as big numbers.
Good. Can you sing us a last song, please, Pauline?
I can. I haven't really decided what to sing. I'm in different minds about what song to sing. Let's have a wee think. Do you know? I just can't, something will come to mind. Yeah, I'll do my song called Safe Haven because why not? So this is an older song of mine. Possibly sung it here before. I'm not sure. It's going to be.
We don't mind listening to your repeat songs. We love it.
So this will be on the next album. So it's called Safe Haven, and it was inspired by just looking down the Northumberland coastline towards Amble Harbour. If anybody knows that, so here we go.
Oh yes, lovely play.
The coloured boats are bobbing gaily on the quay, streaming at their moorings, they long to be at sea, surrounded by the sea wall, so big and safe and strong. They long to be outside it. Oh, how can that be wrong? On the other side of safety, the sea churns up and down. Spray crashes on the quayside like fragments of a crown. Who knows how deep the water? Its depths have not been tried. So best to wait in safety for the turning of the tide. You are my safe haven from all the crashing waves, my safe haven when I just can't be brave. You will protect me from all the raging seas. You are my safe haven from possibilities. I'm scared to venture outside into the open sea. I want to hug the coastline, I'm frightened to be free. I don't know what I'll cope with, I might be in too deep. So I should curl up inside, and I could go to sleep. But what if I don't test myself and try out something strange? I'll never know what I can do and really test my range. The wild sea can be beautiful and scary just the same. It's time to turn the corner, 'cause life's not just a game. You were my safe haven from all the crashing waves, my safe haven when I just can't be brave. You did protect me from all the raging seas. You were my safe haven from possibilities. You know the future scares me, it's tempting just to stay or put off my decision until another day. Nobody will judge me, I'm still the same old me. It's time to leave it all behind and face the unknown sea. So it's goodbye to my safe haven and face the crashing waves, my safe haven. It's time to be brave. You did protect me on all the raging seas. Goodbye, safe haven. Hello, possibilities. Hello, possibilities. Hello, possibilities.
We. Well done, brilliant, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for joining me again this time. You always do, and I love your music. I'm telling you, it's really good.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I'll speak to you again soon, I hope. So thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Thank
Cheers.
you, Pauline. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, folks. See you soon. Cheers.